What's up, guys? Peter von Panda out here in my garage with my cars, and they are so dirty. So what are we gonna do about dirty cars except clean them up? And so the interior was really my priority for today. And what I picked up here is this little spray bottle, and it's KevianClean Interior Defense Interior Cleaner. And this is good for dashboards, vinyl plastic trim, leaves a natural low gloss finish, which is actually what the most important thing to me was. So I got some like cleaner interior detailer stuff that was called like greaseless before, and it actually worked wonders. And what I didn't realize is, like, growing up, especially when I was using Armor All and those types of products, you know, they would leave a really bright, like glossy shine on things. And in some ways, when I did that, I felt like, ooh, it's so clean. But it's like so glossy, it looks like artificial. It definitely looks like you've just cleaned it up with something. And so I like kind of that greaseless, low shine finish because it kind of looks like a car out of the factory. They just don't come all shiny. The second thing that's really important about that is when you don't have like that sticky moisture on it, it doesn't attract and keep like lint sticking to it. So the irony of cleaning it with that stuff means that it's like kind of wet and it tracks a lot of stuff, and little fuzz, dust, whatever is really obvious on it. So having something that's a low gloss, you know, basically a wipe on, wipe off, and helps condition it, provides it some UV protection in most cases, and conditions it is really, really important. And yet I really want it to look factory, not like you just cleaned up the interior car. So hopefully this stuff works. And so we'll try it out and see what it looks like. All right, inside the car, and I may have exaggerated a little bit when I said this car is dirty, 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 but you can obviously see some dust and stuff like that on there. You know, it's not like disgusting with mud and dirt sprayed all over it, but from fingerprints to grease on the plastics, especially the shiny plastic where it's more obvious right there, to just dust on everything, you can just kind of see that. You know, I wanted to clean it up, and again, because this has a nice like elephant hide matte finish to it, you know, I think it looks pretty good the way it is. And you know, you don't want it all greased up like you're going to a bodybuilder competition. You just want it to look clean and not so obvious to people. Now, especially down here on this aluminum finish, that we've got lots and lots of dust. But not only that, I have some grime from, you know, where dirty fingers have gotten into it and things like that. So that's going to be a real interesting one to try to clean up. I do have a microfiber cloth here, and I've got my cleaner here. So I'm going to try wiping everything down and see how it goes. All right, so I've done a nice once over, I think, over the car here, including the doors, the center console. You can see here, it's a little bit of a shine on kind of that really shiny plastic, but on all the matte finishes, all the textured finishes, I think it looks pretty good. I don't know that I got quite everything, but really did around the car as much as possible. And you can see, obviously, there's no dust and whatnot. Now, a couple of my initial thoughts here is it does add just a little bit of shine, but in no way does it leave that kind of grease shine that a lot of, you know, cleaned up cars have. So I really actually like that. I'm really pleased with that, even though I've got a little bit of shine here on my aftermarket head unit, which is a cheaper, low-end, shinier plastic. I think that'll kind of go away. I will also say that as you're wiping it down, it does streak a little bit, and that's kind of, you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to leave like these streak marks, but they do dry off very quickly, and then they're obviously not visible. Now, a couple of my criticisms, probably my, not criticisms as much as my wish list, let me put this down here, is that like a lot of conditioners, because it is pretty milky, and even when you put it on spray here, it comes out pretty heavy. What you want to do, and what I kind of naturally want to do, is spray it on what I need to clean, like this, and then wipe it off. I just feel like I get the best coverage. Now, the problem with that is you'll get it on the glass, and so I'm gonna have to get some glass cleaner and clean that up too. But you can see even here, it kind of looks a little wet still, but that obviously dries up to kind of a nice finish. So because it's kind of a little bit heavier of a spray and kind of comes out a little milky, you know, it's one of those things where it's probably easier to spray it on your rag, but you're just going to naturally want to spray it on the stuff. And I think it's a little more efficient way to put it down. But I found after kind of spraying it on the door panels and kind of areas on the low part here, spraying it on the upper parts near glass, I was spraying it onto the rag and wiping it on there. So pretty happy with this. It's actually pretty nice. And like I said, it is a low gloss finish, and it does have, you know, carbonuba enriched for maximum UV protection qualities, and doesn't smell. I mean, it does have just a little bit of an odor, but not unpleasing. And I really don't get in it like smelling like that cherry smell that you get on a lot of, you know, interior cleaners. So check it out. I'll put a link to this in the description if you want to use it on your car. Peter von Panda, out. you.